I apologize for the technical difficulties, and I will continue speaking about the public's response to Fukushima. As I was saying, I will not insult your intelligence by saying there is nothing to worry about, but it isn't the hoopla that people made you want to think it was. There was one report in which I read that the bears in Alaska had been spotted with sores and missing patches of fur. Now, if we stop to think about that for a second, we'll realize how ridiculous that is. Why are bears in Alaska actually experiencing this, and the people of Japan are not? This type of logic is being replaced by fear, and it is largely being propagated by certain organizations with a lot to gain or lose. Feeding into the public sphere are environmental groups, the media, businesses, all with ulterior agendas. The sale of supplements and herbal remedies in Japan have skyrocketed since the Fukushima disaster. Everyone is a radiation doctor and can cure you of any ailments that came from Fukushima. Another thing to consider is coal, oil, any other energy producing industry have a lot to lose if nuclear power regains its momentum. Some of the environmentalists go a long way to propagate fear within the public. I have an example of this. Nuclear terrorism is one of the newest fears that are out there. This is more sophisticated than the 1950s, when all we were really concerned with was the detonation. Now we're afraid of dirty bombs, sabotage, proliferation. Here's a short 47 seconds that shows you exactly how far they will go to scare the public. Hopefully you can see this. Here we see just how far they will go to incite fear within people. This played upon every family's fear. You have your family, the kids, the dog playing on the beach. In the back is an ominous looming nuke power plant, and here comes the plane. This specifically plays into our fear of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Now, how are we going to combat this? How do we change public perception? Well, unfortunately, there is not a magic wand that we can say nuclear power is magical, clean, cheap, and safe and lovely, and poof, they believe it. There's no way we can just get rid of the fear that easily. Instead, our choices are education, transparency, and changing perspectives. We educate, we debunk myths, we fight with facts. We bring it down to the level that the general public can understand. We answer their questions honestly and truthfully, and we maintain a transparency in the business dealings and safety records of all nuclear energy interactions. This should go a long way to change the perspective. We also need to keep the risk in perspective for the public. Let them know that yes, there are risks involved. We realize this. But there's risk involved in everything we do in life. Now, these legacy issues and fear-mongering represent only a couple of the elements of public perception. I'm going to get more into this other aspects affecting public opinion in my research paper. And hopefully come up with some solutions or suggestions that could be potentially lead to gaining the public's trust. Until then, please continue on to the next element in the nuclear renaissance, fact or fiction, presented by Eric Brillant, and that is going to be on the research and development. Thank you. Oh, and again, I am sorry for the technical difficulties.